Financial freedom, the perfect money management system. So today I'm going to show you a great money management system that has proven fantastic and has helped people from all over the world reach financial freedom. I'm not reinventing the wheel here, so I'm going to show you a system that's taught by Dave Ramsey, Harv Ecker, and many others, and that I've used myself to become financially free, that our students use to become financially free, and that I'm actually right now teaching my kids. If you start using this method for managing your funds, you will quickly put yourself on a path to becoming financially free. So you ready to get started? I hope you're excited, because this video is going to give you so much value in that it's a simple system that you can put into play and start your financial freedom journey. Or if you already started it, this will propel you quicker towards your goal. Now, before I start, please make sure you subscribe to our channel. You hit the subscribe button. Please like this video. It helps us get it out to more people and change more lives. This is a very important video, so if you comment, that is very much appreciated as well. So, ready to get started? All right, awesome. So the money management system that I'm going to show you is called the JAR system. The JAR system basically is about any money that you make, you split into 6 different pots. These pots are then allocated to specific parts of your finances so that you are always growing in each area. So the 6 pots, to walk you through each one. The first one is called necessities. So basically your living expenses, your food, your home, your utilities, everything you need in order to live. This pot should be somewhere between 50 and 60%. Now, I know that's not always plausible at the outset, and to just cut all your and just put that in, and that's fine. If you can't do this right away, that's okay. I'm going to show you at the end of this video a methodology that I learned from Tracy that you can use to go from wherever it has to be now to the ideal over a period of time. All right, sounds good? All right, cool. So the ideal is to get to about 50-55%. If you have to have it higher at the outset, that's okay. You just correct with the other ones. But that's the ideal, right? So I'm doing this for my kids. My kids, every week, they have different chores that they do. Based on the chores they do, they get an allowance. So I don't just give them, $2, €2, €10, whatever your allowance to the kids might be. Instead, we say, look, this chore is worth this much, this much, and so on. And they just pick the ones they want, they do those chores, and they get paid for them. So yes, child labor. It's a way for them to get ownership of their own funds. They make the decision, not me. And then when they get the money, we split them using the JAR system. And then they can use that money in any way they want, using what each jar is allocated for. That gives them control, and it's teaching them financial future. So the first jar, necessities, is nothing they have. Obviously, we cover their food and living expenses and everything else, right? So that one isn't one for them. For us adults, we put away, again, 50 to 60%, ideally 50, to that jar. Now, the other 5 jars will then be split evenly. So ideally 10% in each. If you had to put 60, well, you put a little less in each jar, but they will be as big, these 5 jars. Now, the first of these jars is what is called the play budget. Now, what does the play budget mean? Well, everything you like to do that's not a necessity, for example, maybe go and eat out, or go to the movies, or buy some nice clothes, or treat yourself for a massage, or anything like that, that goes in the play budget. So about 10% of your salary should go to pampering yourself. Now, there are generally, to generalize the entire world population, there are 2 types of personalities. There are the spenders and there are the savers. Now, I am very much a saver, so I don't like spending money, even on myself. I like building and accumulating and building my portfolio. But what that does is you can become a bit of a Scrooge McDuck. Remember his big vault where he swims through the money? Well, he never spends it. He never lives off of it. He never has any fun with it. It's just sitting there, right? So this method forces you to actually have some fun. So for us savers, we have to spend 10% of our salary, or whatever we allocate there, but we have to spend that money every month. We can't save it for the next month to do something bigger. There's another jar for stuff like that. Now, that has to be spent on something on us. So if you come up the last day of the month, you still have, €1,000 in that bucket, all right, get yourself a really nice massage, or whatever it might be. But make sure you do something, spend that money, have a party. That money has to be spent. Now, for the other side of the coin, the people who are spenders, this becomes more of a cap. This means this is how much you can spoil yourself with. Meaning if I'm going to go out for lunch with my friends, that means I can't go to the movies this weekend. It kind of controls that spending. This is the budget for spending. So it allows you to come back into what is a reasonable level. All right, make sense? So necessities, play. The third one is save for spending. Meaning you might want to, every year you might want to go on a vacation and travel somewhere. Or you might have a toy you want to buy, like an iPad or a new TV or a new car or something you need. It's not enough. You can't buy it with the play budget because it takes more saving. So every month you're putting away about 10% of your salary for that big purchase. It can also go for just refurbs on your house. Like I want a new kitchen. I want to put in a jacuzzi. I want to build a deck. You're putting away money every month for these larger expenses so that over time, that becomes a big budget. So you have your necessities covered, you have your play and fun every month, and then you're saving for those big experiences. The next jar is a very important jar, and I talk a lot with my kids about it because they don't really understand this one naturally. It's the education jar. Now, we live in Sweden, so education is free. Right? And as soon as my kids want to learn anything, they want to play sports, they want to learn business, they want to educate themselves, any, academic education, I will always pay for that, right? Because that's what I want. I'm trying to encourage them to do these things and just not watch TV, right? But they might want to do an education that I would not pay for. My oldest son, William, he loves Minecraft. I would not pay for a Minecraft course to teach him how to be better at the game, right? But his education jar, he can put to that. So you might have the same in your life. Your employer might pay for educations that would make you a better employee. But if you want to learn about property investing or how to trade stocks or how to create your own business, you'll probably have to pay for that education yourself. So 10% of your salary every month goes to being able to cover that education. You can use that to buy books, to read and learn, go to seminars, events, online courses, all these things in order to grow your knowledge base in order to have success. This is a very, very important jar that needs to be there in order for you to grow and have this goal. Does that make sense? All right, cool. So that's 4 jars, right? We got the necessities, play, save for spend later, and education. The next one, let me tell you something my son said. This was so beautiful. He said to me a couple weeks ago now, he came to me, he said, "Dad, it's really important that we make a lot of money." Okay, William, why? Why do you think that? He said, well, if we make more money, we can help more people. Isn't that wonderful? And that's because this 5th jar is charity. 10% goes to charity. For William, who doesn't have the necessities jar, he's putting 20% in the other 5, meaning 20% of everything he makes from his chores is going to charity. Isn't that beautiful? So he's thinking, like, if I work harder, if I do more, I can help more people. The more money I make, the more people I save. And that, I think, is a very beautiful insight to have and to use and to work from. So I think that if you start doing that, it takes away kind of the feeling of money is evil, or I don't deserve it, or should I really be making this much? Yes, you should, because you can help more people. And that is a very beautiful way to live. If you give 10% of everything you make, you will be motivated to make more, to give more. Does that make sense? I hope so. I hope so. Please let me know in the comments if what I'm saying here makes sense. Now, for the final jar, this is your future jar. This jar is the one that will create your entire financial freedom and future. It's the investment jar. So 10% of everything you make, or for my son who doesn't have necessities, putting 20%, are going to investments. Those investments will then grow over time and build your financial future and start creating a passive income back. Now, if you want to know more about what you could do with that jar, we have lots of videos here on our channel. So make sure you subscribe. We got interviews with people like Kim Kiyosaki, with Chris Nagel, Jordan Harbinger, amazing people from all over the world that will share with you ways to make money off of your investments. So make sure you subscribe and you check out those videos. Personally, my favorite is property investing, because property investing has both the cash flow every month and the capital appreciation, meaning your portfolio is growing in value. It's one of the most stable types of investments there are out there. So if you want to learn more specifically about property investing, I want to give you a little gift. I hope that's okay. But I want to give you a present. This present is an online course, almost 2 hours, 1 hour and 45 minutes of education on the 3 simple steps to property investing and the 3 most common mistakes new investors make and how to avoid them. I want to give you this course completely for free as a thank you for subscribing to our channel, for watching this video, for giving us a like, and hopefully it will help you take that step if you want property investing to be the way you use that investing bucket. So to claim your course, all you need to do is go to www.momentumgift.com. That's www.momentumgift.com. You'll be able to sign up for the course. It's completely free, no strings attached. You sign up and we'll give you an hour and 45 minutes of teaching on how to build a property portfolio. So I hope you're excited for that. Thank you so much for watching this video. We got some exciting ones coming up here in the next couple weeks as well. So make sure you're subscribed, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you for spending this time with me.